That's where we win right here, not on the field.
But where we want to be at the end of the season starts with our mentality and our attention to detail today.
When they leave Penn State, a person should be able to look at them and say, that's a guy that went through that program. He's special.
On this episode of the Unrivaled Podcast, we visit with number 70, Juice Scruggs, and number 68, Eric Wilson, ahead of Penn State's Week 6 matchup with the Iowa Hawkeyes. Gentlemen, you currently sit at 5-0 on the season, and if you take a step back and kind of soak that in to this point after just knocking off Indiana 24-0 inside Beaver Stadium, what's your biggest takeaway through 5 games? Juice?
I would say how we're just playing as a team right now. Defense is holding their own, like on all levels. They're playing lights out football, and offense, we're just getting better every week and just picking up head of steam. And special teams is always doing their thing, changing the game. I just say we just keep playing as a team, and sky's the limit.
Now, I don't know if our fans necessarily know that we record most of these on Sundays after the game. This comes out on Thursday, so a little inside information for our listeners there. But Juice Scruggs, that voice, man, that's like post-game, right?
Yeah.
That's legit. So he's got a little raspy voice. Yeah,
all that.
You got to love that. Eric, how about you through 5 games?
Yeah, I think Juice took the easy answer, easy way out on this one. It's pretty awesome coming together as a team. I think the biggest thing is I've never been a part of a team, honestly, this tight-knit throughout all units. So like Juice was saying, the defense never gets down on us if things aren't going right for us, and we're never thinking bad things about the defense or complaining when things – I mean, they haven't done anything wrong yet, but if they do, you know, they know we got their back, and special teams knows that we're all coming together to make it happen. But I think that's the biggest thing is that there's so much support on this team that it's pretty awesome to be a part of.
What makes this team such a tight-knit group of guys?
Well, I think Juice might have a better answer for this one, but this is my first year here. Obviously, I came in May, but I think the biggest thing is, from what I can tell, is that they embrace everybody. So I came in May, and I already feel like I'm part of the brotherhood. I've been asked before, like, how does it feel? Like, how do you and the other transfers get along, like in consort with the team? And honestly, I don't feel like a transfer at this point. It doesn't feel like, the group of transfers and then like the group of other guys. It just feels like all one Penn State football team.
Yeah, I agree with Rick said. Like, the brotherhood is tight as it's ever been. And it's just everybody, like, you see, like, DBs hanging out with specialists. You see O-linemen hanging out with, like, the linebackers. Like, it's just a whole bunch of, like, things we didn't see and I didn't see in the past years. That is just making us that team that we're becoming to be.
Everybody around the country from the media standpoint is like, what's the secret ingredient going on up in Happy Valley, the tight-knit group of guys? But, like, at the end of the day, what is the secret sauce to have those relationships across all position groups?
I just feel like there's no secret sauce, to be honest. It's just we put in the work in the off season together. We went through the grind, blood, sweat, tears, all that in the off season, and that just makes you closer. When you go through adversity and you overcome it, you just become closer, and I think that's what's happened.
Penn State's secret sauce is blood, sweat, and tears.
Oh, I like that.
My Juice Scruggs, yeah. On that point, though, the shared suffering of going through, I've seen some media stuff, like the players asked for, like, the hardest offseason ever, and I didn't know that when I came in May, but I figured out why it was so hard now. That was some brutal summer workouts, but, it got us right, and it got us fighting through things as a family.
At what point did you, when you were going through the process of getting here on campus, going through those workouts, having not played the game of football, obviously, at this type of level, at what point did you realize, this might be a little bit different now?
Yeah, I'd say week 1. Week 1 when I was dying out there on the field, and I'm like, hey, does it ever, like, tone down a little bit, like, towards the end, like, when we get closer to the season? Guys are like, yeah, usually. And then we get closer to season, we start doing campus runs and running everywhere. I'm like, all right, yeah, we're just we're going to be in shape this year. Yeah.
For those that don't know, Eric Wilson's a transfer from Harvard, and Harvard did not have a football season during everything going on with COVID. What were you doing at this point last year?
I think at this point last year, I was in Nashville watching college football on the weekend. So my roommates and I, my teammates and I, we weren't allowed on campus for the fall semester at Harvard, so we wanted to have our senior year living together at least. So we found an Airbnbs. We lived in Bethany Beach, Delaware for a month, so got that last month of summer in September, like taking my first day of classes on the beach, and then moved to Nashville for the month of October, late September. And that's where I was watching college football games, watching Penn State, watching other schools that like I was being recruited by, and just really missing out on everything. It was sad. Like some people could think, oh, that's pretty awesome. Like you just get the semester to spend in Nashville, but I was pretty miserable, to be honest, just watching people play football and get to experience, going through things as a team again when I hadn't had it in a year. And now it's been 2 years since I had last played at Harvard, and I'm so thankful to be part of a team again.
So when you flipped on the TV and you saw Penn State playing a game, I'm assuming it was a couple of games deep at this point in the season if we're reflecting back to a true calendar year, did you take extra note of what was going on in Happy Valley?
Well, to be honest, I hadn't really been talking to any coaches here because the season was just starting, actually, because the Big Ten started late. So it was actually the first game I watched when I was in Nashville was the Indiana-Penn State game, which we're not talking about last year, but that was crazy. I remember sitting down with my roommates like, what is going on? And it was just it's so surreal to now be a part of that. And like looking back a year, like I was watching that game with my friends, and now I'm playing in that game with my friends. So it's different.
Juice, flipping sides to you, your story is well documented. Everybody knows pretty much what you went through on the grand scale of things that pays close attention to Penn State football. So for you, 5-0 mark through 2021 at this point in time, having all that in the back of your mind, how much do you embrace and reflect on those things that you went through as you take the field on a Saturday this year?
Yeah, it definitely goes through my head. It made me who I am today. Everybody goes through something, and it just builds character, to be honest. And when I'm out there, I just use it as motivation for real. And looking back on where I was at and what I was going through, and to where I'm at now, and playing in front of 107,000, it's just unbelievable. It's just all thanks to God.
We're going to take a hard right turn right now, and we don't talk about this stuff often, but for those that we obviously can't see right now, but Juice, you got some tattoos on your right-hand side there. What are they?
So I got, in my inner forearm, I got a family tree with all my family members' names on it, and it says "For My Family." And then on my outside forearm, I got Headstrong, and that's my brother. He's paralyzed in a wheelchair. So that's dedicated for him. And then I got F&B right here, like in the middle of my arm. And that's Forever My Brothers. That's like back home. All the boys I went to school with, it's like a group of 6 of us. We all got it tatted on us. So it's like a brotherhood back home. And then I got the man himself, Jesus Christ, portrait right here on my upper shoulder.
Planning on getting more of them, or just kind of?
Oh yeah, I just wait though. I'm gonna be patient right now, but when I find the right artist, I'm gonna get all this done.
I heard he's modeling it after Nick Dawkins.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to be like, the GOAT, number 66, Nick Dawkins.
Whoa, like from why?
Man, it's just whatever he does, man, he does everything right. He's the standard. Just trying to be like him.
So you got a bunch of tattoos too?
Oh, Nick Dawkins got 2 full sleeves.
What's on his sleeves?
Oh, he got everything. Portraits, pictures, all that. I'm trying to be like him.
That's cool. That's pretty cool. All right, Eric, when we were talking before we started recording this episode of the podcast, we sit down and say, what do you guys want to talk about besides football? So let's go away from football. And now we're going to go into your background a little bit. That includes some music. Fill us in with what that is.
Yeah, I'll try to focus as Juice laughs right next to me. But I grew up, my mom, not my dad, was really musical growing up. She played the organ, and she was a good singer, really good singer, and she sang in the Notre Dame choir when she went to school there. And so I grew up, and I was always singing, and they got me into instruments early. So I played some piano, some guitar, and then saxophone all through high school. So saxophone was my main instrument, and then in about 3rd grade, I joined the Minnesota Boy Choir. So shout out Minnesota Boy Choir. It's a boy choir, all boys, no electronics, like the most classic boy choir. Like when I say boy choir, like you're probably thinking like, oh, it's probably not that serious. Like this was legit. Like we got uniforms, we're traveling the world. So I mean, I sang tours every year. Like so, we went to the Vatican, Sagrada Familia in Spain. Went to France. Yeah, kind of crazy.
So you was like Michael Jackson.
Maybe.
Yeah, Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I got some dance moves too.
You was on that type level, huh? Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, so that really, I think, formed a big part of who I am. And like some people don't always see the connection to sports, but in a weird way, like it really does connect to the offensive line because like you got to do your part. You don't have there's one solo to go around in a choir, and this choir has like 65 people. So if you're not doing your part, then like what are you doing if you don't have the solo? And like that's kind of what offensive line play is. Like you got to do your part so that the whole unit can go, so that our quarterbacks and our running backs can be the solo artists and make things happen.
Did you have a solo?
Yeah, I had some solo.
Have we ever heard the solo?
I never heard it. I'm trying to hear it.
I feel like
Can
that's
you give us a little.
I feel like that's something you can't forget.
Was it singing?
Yeah, it was singing.
Can you give us a little demonstration?
We about to do this right now? This is really, God, I feel like this is the third time I've been asked to sing in a Penn State football.
We're doing
We're doing it right now?
We're doing it.
As I went down to the river to pray, studying about that good old way, and who shall bear the sorry crown, good Lord, show me the way. Oh, brothers, let's go down, come on down. Oh, brothers, let's go down to the river to pray. There you go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
My boy need a deal.
Look at that.
Need a deal.
That's not what I expected coming up after that win last night. Yeah.
Do you still like sing for fun every day?
Well, so I wouldn't say I sing in the shower. I'm a big shower singer.
Put on those concerts in the shower.
Yeah, a little bit. But then when I go back home, and there's concerts going on with the boy choirs having concerts, like I go and alumni are always asked to come up and sing a song at the end, like our blessing that we sing every year. So it's pretty good.
You're a Minnesota boy, right?
Yep.
I'm a Minnesota boy.
For real?
Juice, that
I'm
game.
Ohio.
Okay, so here's a controversial hot take.
Mm-hmm.
That game you played as a kid, don't answer this, Eric. Duck, duck, what comes next?
Duck, duck, goose.
Now if I ask you that question, what comes next?
Duck, duck, gray duck.
Boom.
Boom.
Gray duck.
Boom.
Gray duck.
Why not goose?
Because goose is wrong.
Yeah.
Is that what y'all say in Minnesota? Duck, duck, gray duck.
I'm going to pull up a map right now for you. It's literally the only state that plays duck, duck, gray duck. No idea why.
Duck.
Yeah, I'm about to say it because I was in Ohio and then I went to Erie, PA, and they said duck, duck, goose too.
See, that must be like that.
There it is. Have you ever seen that?
Nah, I've never seen that.
Duck, duck, gray duck map.
It's actually just a map of elite states versus not elite
Exactly.
states. And it's just, there's one very clear winner.
Gray duck.
So gray duck. That was a hard left turn there. All right, go back to the music side of things. You played instruments too?
Yeah, two-time all-conference band member coming out of the Metro West Conference in Minneapolis. Absolutely. Saxophone. I was in the pep band, the jazz band, and the concert band, just playing with my boys.
Did you have scholarships?
Get out of here. No.
You said 2-time all conference. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, they got to give it to somebody.
How did you balance the two, like music and then sports?
I got to be honest. I didn't have that great of a social life in high school. I did a lot of sports, too. I played basketball through my sophomore year. Scored a few points here and there.
You was big man?
Big man. Grab the boards, Juice.
Big man.
Yeah, you guys haven't seen it yet.
Hey, you got 5 fouls. You better use them.
Yep, exactly. Track and field, big shot put discus guy. But so like, honestly, my mornings were like my Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I would leave my house at 5 to go lift at 5:30.
Talking AM, right?
Yeah, 5:30 a.m. Get done at 7:30. School starts at 8. School from 8 until 3. Then like football practice, like or track practice from 3:30 to 5:30, and then I got to do my homework at school, and then I have to drive to 40 minutes to St. Paul for choir practice at 7, and then choir practice is from 7 to 9, and then I drive an hour home at 9. So then I would get back to my house at like 10.
So you was just preparing for college. That's all that was.
I mean, people say like, what's the hardest part about? What was the hardest part about horror? I said high school.
It's true though. That's facts.
Yeah, because I got to college. They were like, oh, I was like, oh, I don't have choir practice today. Yeah, we're good.
So, like, I'm curious what your guys' take is on this, because so many people around the country and around the world really are like, oh, you should focus on one sport now. You should focus on football. You should focus on baseball, basketball, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. But, Eric, you being a guy that played multiple different sports, traveled at 7 p.m. to go make sure that you could be a part of something other than sports, why is it important for some younger kids that are listening to this to continue to do more than just one thing?
I feel like you can get burned out from things pretty easily. And like specifically football, like I cannot play offensive line. I don't think I'd be playing offensive line right now if I played offensive line from 4th grade to senior year of high school year round. That would get that my body wouldn't be like in the half decent shape it is right now. But also I think you learn things physiologically, like doing other sports. You learn like positioning in basketball. You learn like how to guard people. Like if you're guarding a quick guy on the perimeter, like it might help with one-on-one pass rush. If you're throwing a shot put or a discus, it might help you learn how to use your hips a little bit in the run game, and I think that helps a lot. But then also just kind of diversifying so that you're not always thinking about. Again, this goes back to burning out to me. I had a lot of friends burn out. You know, hockey in Minnesota is so big. Like you get friends that burn out because they play so much hockey all the time and it just kind of kills their bodies and kills their spirit for it. But I don't have that with football. Problem with football.
Yeah, I agree with Rick. Like what he said, like a lot of other sports translate to football, and like I agree with that. But me personally, I was only played football in high school. I was strictly focused on football, and it had to do with I had some injuries. Like I used to play basketball, and I kept getting hurt every year. So I'm like, yeah, when I get to high school, like I know I'm not about to have no future in basketball. So I'm like, I'm just gonna focus on football, get in the weight room in the off season.
You weren't quick enough?
Oh, in basketball?
Yeah.
Oh no, I was quick enough.
Oh, okay.
I was quick enough. My defense, I was a defensive guy, but I could score offense too. Post game.
5 fouls.
5 fouls? No. I wasn't that type of guy.
5 fouls.
I wasn't that type of guy. I'm a guy you need on the court.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I got you.
I was like Shaq before Shaq was Shaq. No dunking, no dunking. I was too little to dunk. But the post game, I was like that.
Who wins in a post battle right now between the two of you, 1-on-1?
He gotta guard me. He can't stop me. But like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I could stop him.
See, I feel like Juice has got like
I'm telling
you're
you,
just a man down there.
I'm slippery.
I used to be nice at basketball before I stopped playing.
I'm slippery.
Slippery?
I'm slippery. Hook shot.
Hey, you might score a couple, but I'm gonna score more.
That's okay.
You gotta stop me.
We might have to settle this in the
I feel like Eric's gonna be. I feel like Eric's gonna be the guy that tries to draw a charge down there too.
He would. Yeah.
And they're gonna call it, and it'll be my ball.
See, that's where we come from. Playing 1-on-1, ain't no charges, none of that, man. Play straight up.
Okay.
Let's end on this question. We've got to ask it. Hardest class you ever took at Harvard was what?
Oh God.
Because you graduated on Zoom, didn't you?
I did graduate on Zoom. I actually graduated on Zoom while I was at Penn State. That was when I had my graduation, when I didn't know anybody here. I was alone in my room at the retreat, and I was pretty sad. It's kind of a miserable graduation.
You just had, like, you literally just sat there on Zoom and somebody, I'm assuming it was like a TED Talk.
Yeah, and I came out. It was Jeremy Lin was our class day speaker. Gave a really good speech. It was awesome. But then I just came out of my room, and my roommates were like, "What are you doing?" Mike Miranda was like, "Oh, what are you doing there?" I was like, "I just graduated college."
Hey, wait. You said Jeremy Lin, the basketball player?
The Harvard grad?
Oh, he went to Harvard?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Harvard produces athletes.
I guess so.
Yeah,
I'm saying I'm
go.
standing next to one of the greatest Harvard athletes in our generation.
Oh God, no! But you going back to the most important part of the school. I think the hardest class. I don't know. I took multivariable calculus my freshman year. That kind of got my mind thinking that math wasn't exactly what I want. I thought I wanted to be a math major. It was hard. It showed me that I like different areas. And then I switched, took a lot of psych courses and majored in psych and worked in a social psych lab for 3 years. His name's Dan Gilbert. He's the GOAT. He's the best psychologist ever. He's got some good TED Talks I promote publicly. And then the harder class, I took a philosophy class called Economic Justice, which is about like the philosophy of like capitalism, socialism, libertarianism. So that was really got me thinking, like reading old philosophy. Just that was a mind bender. Yeah.
Them words is too big.
Yeah, you and me both, brother. Gentlemen, appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us on the Unrivaled Podcast, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.